Pretoria is one of the 3 capital cities of South Africa.
Nice.
It was founded by a brewer. Now, for a South African that's seeing this and the government is not even meeting the needs of the people, or maybe at least try to meet the needs of the people, but keep failing.
Hello from Pretoria, Republic of South Africa. It's 54 minutes past 7 a.m. local times. Good morning to you if you are in my time zone. Good afternoon and good evening to you if you are outside my time zone, and depending on what time you are seeing this video. I am doing very well here in Pretoria. I've been here for the last couple of days. I hope you are also doing well wherever you are. Today the plan is to head to the next country number 20, Eswatini. It's going to be our first time flying the flag of Eswatini, and it's about 350 kilometers away from Pretoria. Usually I tell the stories of the cities and the people in the helmets when we hit the road, but today I have a special guest. Actually, here in Pretoria she is my host, but here on Flying Flags she is my guest. Welcome, Sister Pamela.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing well.
Nice.
A bit chilly, but
Yeah.
generally I'm okay.
Weather in Pretoria is kind of unpredictable. It gets warmer, and in the next couple of minutes it's cold.
It's generally warmer
Right.
compared to other parts of Gauteng. Pretoria is the warmest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Gauteng is the province.
Gauteng is the province, and Pretoria is the capital city.
So it's the capital city of Gauteng,
yes.
and then also South Africa.
South Africa, yeah.
Awesome. But before we get into the discussion, I just want to appreciate your hospitality, your hostel, your student accommodation. I don't know what to call it. What should I call it? Thank you for
It's my home, so it's a home away from home, so
Yeah.
I would do the same thing if I was at home, so
Awesome.
that's my absolute pleasure to host you.
When we talk about Pretoria in terms of governance and politics, what would you tell us about Pretoria? Because many of us, we hear about South Africa, the two of the most famous cities that the rest of us know about are Cape Town, which is the mother city, or the legislative capital, and in Johannesburg, the economic or the constitutional seat. And you are a South African. What would you say?
Yeah. I'll try my best to give as much information as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Pretoria is one of the 3 capital cities of South Africa.
Nice.
It was founded by a brewer. a man named
Martinez, okay.
Martinez Pretorius.
Okay.
This was also in honor of his father, Andres Pretorius.
Okay.
So this was, he established the city so that the Afrikaner, the Voortrekker Afrikaners, can be independent away from the Cape economy, which was mostly, it was British colonized. So they move away from the sea, they move up here more in the inland and establish the city. Nice. So you will see the influence, the strong influence here are Afrikaner people, but it has changed. That has changed over the years.
Okay.
And it became one of it became the headquarters for administrative purposes, serving the nation.
The establishment of the city began with the Boers. Who are the Boers?
The Dutch-speaking people.
Okay.
Yeah, that emerged from Cape to this side.
And now things are changing. What's the culture like in terms of demography? The indigenous tribes living here.
So the city has very much evolved. The landscape of culture has changed over the years. Pretoria now accommodates the diversity of the country because we have like 11 official languages.
Wow.
And I would say Pretoria pretty much has all the cultural diversity of South Africa. You will find it here in Pretoria.
Nice. Can you give examples of some of the tribes here in Pretoria?
I would say predominantly is the Northern Sotho and the Tswana people.
Okay.
We also have the Ndebelés, but more coming from the Limpopo side.
Okay.
Chivenda people, from the influence of Limpopo.
Okay.
And then we have the Zulus who are coming from the KZN. Also.
And you are Zulu.
And I'm evident.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so it has really accommodated like all official cultures that are found in South Africa.
We know South Africa has some of the best universities in Africa and the world. What's education like in Pretoria?
It's pretty much high standard. TUT campus, which is Tshwane University of Technology. I would say it's been previously high ranked. Also UP, University of Pretoria, also known as Tax, which produce really high quality students that are influencing the world. Yeah, so those are the two major universities. And of course there's many more that are emerging, and there are colleges as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What would you say when people come to Pretoria they would like to see?
So I think the prominent one, you can come and see just the beauty of Union Building. It has a very rich historical site. You can even see the reflection of history just by looking at the building and how it was built. I would say start there. If you are in the city, you pretty much can walk to the Union Building.
What's the Union Building?
Union Building, that's the building that's housing the administrative headquarters.
So like the executive administration of the country.
Yes. Around this time you will enjoy the beauty of the jacaranda trees, pepper trees. that are lighting up the city. I love this time of the year, and it attracts both local and international tourists. And of course, if you're an active person, there's a lot of hiking spots you can visit. Yeah, and festivals. If you're a rugby fan, if you watch rugby, or even just to experience diversity, there's a stadium here not far from me, Loftus Stadium. You can see what's up in that week, and we have State Theatre where you can enjoy arts and performance. Yeah, on your laid back, maybe Saturdays, there's a lot of markets, like you can visit the local markets, and also the thrift shops if you are like me.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a lot to do in the city. Yeah, it accommodates your style, your idea of holiday.
I don't really know how that looks like here in South Africa, but we've heard a lot about different nationals living here and the backlash they receive from indigenous South Africans in terms of inequality when it comes to employment. Things about xenophobia and other unpleasant confrontations. As a South African, what you've heard on the radio or seen on TV, popular opinion going around regarding situations like that. Different ethnicities living here who are not South Africans, and in terms of jobs, what would you say is actually the problem?
In my opinion, Pretoria hosts pretty much is one of the cities that host most ambassadors.
Most ambassadors, like a lot of embassies.
Yes, a lot of embassies. Pretty much almost the whole Africa is here. And I think naturally, because South Africa has now become the carrier of Africa. What I mean by that, it is a carrier of Africa. It has become economically busting nation.
Right.
And also it has become a place for refugees that are coming from harsh countries, war zone countries.
Right.
And they flock into South Africa. By that fact, a lot of nationals, foreign nationals, will flock into South Africa. Now, Pretoria, it hosts pretty much most nationals, foreign nationals, find this place a place where they can settle. It would be naive of me to say that South Africa is perfect. Everything is running smooth. Our systems have no issues. As this is happening, foreigners coming into the country for different reasons.
Yeah.
They are moving into a space or a country where the country is also experiencing its own problems.
Yeah.
South Africa also has the highest unemployment rates. So how I see is, as foreigners are coming in seeking economical freedom, refugee status, they come in with a mentality of I'm gonna make the best of this opportunity, and work hard, and to provide for my family. I wanna do whatever job there is, even if it's an awkward job or looked down upon job. Now, for a South African that's seeing this, and the government is not even meeting the needs of the people, or maybe at least try to meet the needs of the people, but keep failing. As a South African, I would say there is an issue with us. We leave everything up to the government to solve it, to solve the issue. Now, a foreigner that's coming is not looking to the government to resolve the issue. They look for opportunities.
They just go straight to work.
It goes straight to work, and it's in their working that you see opportunities.
That's right.
That you see the small, opportunities, unlike someone who's just expecting the manna from the government, doesn't see these opportunities. So when I see a foreigner now, doing well and succeeding, and I'm like, how come you are succeeding and I'm not? So I think there's that now tension that the foreigners are coming in to take our jobs, but that's not the case. I think for us is to also get our hands dirty and look for opportunities. And it's not like the opportunities were never there before. They were there. It's just that we, a South African, wouldn't necessarily see them because, they are blinded by the fact that the government must give me something. And I'm not saying the government shouldn't. The government has its role to meet the needs of the people, to serve the people.
Absolutely.
But I think we have to take it upon ourselves to seek opportunities and maybe even help the government to come up with solutions to the problems that we have.
Wow. We would never think about it that way. I'm being honest, as a West African. We hear about it all the time. We definitely know there's a reason why xenophobic attacks. People would be inspired or compelled to act in a certain way by some factors or circumstances. I would say that it makes a lot of sense to hear you share in that from that perspective of, the foreigners are just here to get their hands dirty, just go straight to work. They don't have time to look up to the government. Meanwhile, South Africans are just waiting. By the time they realize, the foreigners have gone way ahead, doing something. That's really, really something I think South Africans should realize, that nobody is here to take their job. People just want to survive. Both sides of the aisle have issues that they are dealing with. So thanks for sharing. But
I also want to add, if I can.
Yeah, please.
Yes, foreigners are coming in our country, but also the system is also not perfect in sifting the wrong in accommodating foreigners. Because yes, our borders are open, warm to our African neighbors, but also that is opening doors for criminal activities.
I agree.
That can come from foreigners, which is increasing the problem that is already existing in South Africa. Trusting that the government is working on this to resolve criminal activity that is instigated by fellow Africans.
Yes, that's right.
It will resolve the tension that we see, because that would keep the people that are adding value to South Africa and put away the ones that are committing crimes. They need to reflect on that and do something about that. And by no means I'm saying they must, completely close the borders. But I think they can improve, because there is great value in having our fellow Africans coming into the country, because then the country benefits, right?
That's right, for sure.
And also the country is able to serve the greater part of the continent.
I agree. That's profound, and thanks for sharing. My final question would be, if someone decides to visit Pretoria, maybe for holiday, short stay, vacation, tourism, what's the easiest ways they can commute around the city?
Our transportation around the city has improved a lot.
Okay.
You can move from one mall to the next, or one place to the next, by using e-hailing.
E-hailing is more like
the Ubers,
Uber,
Bolts.
All right.
To name the few. And also we can use the taxi, the small buses.
All right. Small buses.
That's the cheapest, actually.
Okay.
And we have also the city buses that are moving up and down. And we have the Gautrain. The Gautrain, it connects Pretoria to Johannesburg.
Right.
So it's the easy and fastest way to get to Johannesburg, and even to the airports. You can just catch the train from there, and it can connect you with the city. So and there's greater developments also in the future, but that you'll know about that when it happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. So that is it. If you don't have your own car or your motorcycle like I do, but of course, getting here, I commuted around the place with my sister here in mostly e-hailing. Yeah, you call it e-hailing.
E-hailing.
Yeah, Uber. And private vehicles that picked us up here and there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sister Pamela, for coming on Flying Flags.
My pleasure.
And I know that you've given us enough, have something to think about and deliberate on, so that we can make fair judgments of Pretoria and South Africa in general. Thank you once again.
Thank you for welcoming me into your space.
So friends, we're gonna get on the road now, and then we'll head towards Eswatini. Share your thoughts in the comments up to this point. If you are South African, let us know what you also think about South Africa. If you are a fellow African, or if you are somewhere else in the world, tell us what you know about South Africa and what you like about South Africa. Maybe what you don't like about South Africa. Yeah, we are all learning and trying to find ways to make the world in which we live a better place. Our communities, our cities, our nations. We are trying harder to make them better places for us to live. Let's get back on the road, and if there's any other thing to talk about, we'll get talking. Cheers.
Cheers.